So how important was it for you to direct an episode, and why was it only one episode?
Now, my role in the show was, after we finished writing with Swanand, was to make sure that everything else is taken care of, and
Mm.
kind of like, fill in wherever there were gaps. Our schedule was really tight and hectic. There were certain scenes in different episodes that kind of like needed two sets to be running at the same time. That's
Yeah.
when I came in and directed those things, just to take the load off Akshat. He was the main guy who ran the ship, and he designed the whole the language of the show in terms of how it was moving, how it was constructed, and I was just making sure that he runs his part smoothly and could take some load off him.
Mm. Akshat, how was the experience of aligning yourself with Ankur, with Swanand? Because I was discussing with them that they're such diverse, forces. And
Absolutely.
so, what did you bring to the table, and how tough or easy was it to align with them?
Well, I mean, what I brought to the table, hopefully Ankur can answer that better.
Yeah.
But for me, I've known of Swanand and Ankur much before we collaborated on this. I've heard his music. I've heard Swanand's music and lyrics. So I've always admired them as creatives. I was actually kind of surprised when I got a call from them. I remember the first time we spoke was on a Zoom call. I was in Los Angeles, and I was surprised from what they were telling me. And I'd read the pages in advance, and we were discussing the show, and I loved the show, but I was very surprised as to why they wanted me, because I thought I would not be an obvious choice for what this show was doing.
Yeah.
And certainly if people have seen my other work, I don't think they would reach out, and I appreciated that they did, so when we had a conversation, we were actually, there's an ease with people straight off, and we were talking and we were discussing. And it was very comfortable right from our initial conversations. And I had questions, I had notes, I had feedback unsolicited at that point. But they were so open and receptive, and we already began to talk about structure. I had some questions, how the pilot started, and it was just so comfortable straight off, and they were so open to this. There was no defensiveness, or to say, and there was no, we don't want to. So we had that conversation. I said, okay, that's that, and maybe they'll think about it. But they came back pretty quickly and said, we'd love to work together. And it was actually one of the easiest decisions, certainly for me. It was, and I was really, really happy to be on the project.
Would you say that Bandwaale is your, for the lack of a better word, most family-friendly project yet?
No, that's the truth. I mean, that's not for lack of a better word. It's the absolute truth.
Yeah.
And it is also great for me. As a writer, you sometimes begin to play in a certain area, and you plow that same furrow over and over again. And as a creative, you want to be shaken, and that's what Ankur and Swanand's writing did for me, because it's deeply human. It's very emotional. It goes to places in a way where it's not afraid to wear its heart on its sleeve. And I have a tendency in my work to have a certain kind of violence, or aggressive humor, which really sort of, for me, it was wonderful to be in this space, to be able to see if I could stretch myself as a director, and work to the voice that they had, that they'd set. And it was just really fun for me to do.